Morning, children. How are you? I hope you are all fine. Here I am fine. You are doing well. Still, few children have to complete the assignments. Everyone, don't neglect your studies. Please complete the assignments and share the pics. So, children, we are dealing the lesson is matter pure. In the last part of our lesson, I have told about a suspension and its properties. And I already introduced what is a colloid and its definition. So we are going to continue with the next part of our lesson, which is related to colloidal solutions. In the last part, we have learned that solutions in which the size of the particles lies in between those of a true solutions and suspensions are called as colloidal solutions, or simply I told them as colloids. Hope you have remember. And these colloids are in the two forms. So colloidal solutions are heterogeneous in nature and they consist of two phases. One is disperse phase, the other one is dispersion medium. Children, listen carefully here. The solute-like component which has been dispersed or distributed throughout in a solvent-like medium is called dispersed phase or the discontinuous phase, while the solvent-like medium in which the dispersed phase has been distributed or dispersed is called the dispersion medium or the continuous phase. We know in true solutions we have a solvent and a solute. Like that, in this also we have a dispersed phase and dispersed medium. Remember like that. And the heterogeneous system thus obtained is called the colloidal system or colloidal dispersion. So you have to remember that dispersed phase in a colloidal solution is related to solute particles in a true solution. Similarly, the dispersion medium is related to a solvent in a true solution. So remember this. Actually, in true solutions, the solute and the solvent are present in a single phase. You know what is meant by phase? Related to state ma. But whereas in a colloidal solution, they are present in two separate phases. That means two separate states. Okay, solid, liquid or solid, solid, solid gas or liquid gas, like that a combination will be present. I hope children you have understood what is dispersed phase and dispersion medium. So in a short way, you can remember like this. Dispersed phase is a substance that present in a smaller proportion. I told it is equivalent to solute compared to true solution and consists of the particles of colloidal size. And next, when you come to the dispersion medium, is a medium in which the colloidal particles are dispersed. I told this dispersion medium is similar to a solvent in a true solution. I hope you have understood. You can remember these 2 points also. And the two phases I told her, two phases are states. It can be in the form of a solid, liquid or gas. The combinations may vary, children. Solid, liquid or liquid, liquid, solid, solid or a solid gas or liquid gas, like that. In detail, we are going to discuss in the next part of our lesson. So children, listen. In true solutions, we have a solute and a solvent. Whereas when you come to the colloidal solutions, we have a like a dispersed phase and dispersed medium. Okay, so we have a three combination, three states of matter or three phases of matter, like a solid, liquid, and gas. So we have combinations in this way. Just observe the table and understand how the colloids are formed and their examples. Okay, children, just listen. So solid phase and solid medium. So it is type called solid sol. So examples like colored gemstones, milky glass. Okay, when it comes to solid phase, solid, liquid medium, we call the type is called a sol, starch sol, gold sol, muddy water, white fennec, next paints, latex, blood plasma, gelatin. Next is solid, gas, solid aerosol, smoke, dust storm, automobile exhaust, etc. Liquid, solid, gel, jelly, cheese, butter, curd, shoe polish, etc. Liquid, emulsion, milk, face cream, cod liver oil. Liquid gas, aerosol, fog, clouds, mist, sprays. Gas solid, solid foam, pumic stone, foam, rubber, bread. Gas liquid, foam, soap leather, shaving cream, whipped cream. Children, one more point you remember here. Generally, I told that colloidal solutions are heterogeneous in nature. Therefore, to distinguish them from a true solution, the term sol is used in the place of a solution. The particles of a colloidal salts are called colloidal particles. Remember, ma, why I have used sol. Okay, remember these points, children, again. So, gemstone is an example for solid soul. Muddy water is an example for soul. Next, when you come to the automobile exhaust, is an example for solid aerosol. When you come to the butter, it is a gel. Cod liver oil, an example of emulsion. Mist is an example of aerosol. Bread is an example of solid foam. Next, a shaving cream is an example of foam. Since we have three states like a solid, liquid, and gas, actually we have to get nine, children. Three threes, nine, we have to get combination. But we have only eight. Why? Because I told colloidal solutions are heterogeneous. If a gas and gas mix together, it forms a homogeneous mixture. That's why we have eight combinations or eight common examples of colloids of different dispersed phase and dispersed medium. So these are all examples with pictures. Children, I hope you have understood up to here. So children, one more point you have to remember here. If a dispersion medium is changed, then name of a sol will be changed. If a dispersion medium is water, we call it as aquasol, alcohol, alkosol, benzene, benzenosol, gases means aerosol. So in that examples, we have come across aerosols and all. So remember these also. Children, listen. Coming to the properties of colloidal solutions or colloids. First property is heterogeneous nature. A colloidal solution is heterogeneous in nature, consisting of two phases called dispersed phase and dispersion medium. And you have to remember that dispersed phase means it is a discontinuous phase, whereas dispersion medium is continuous phase. Okay, coming to the next one, what is that? Size of the particles. The size of the colloidal particles lies in the range from 1 to 100 nanometers. That means its size is in between true solutions and suspensions. Okay, when you go to the next property, that is filtrability, that means the colloidal particles pass through the ordinary filter paper. Okay, that's the reason colloidal particles cannot be separated from dispersion medium by filtration. Okay, remember this. Okay, next, when you come to the next property, that is stability. Colloidal salts, I told two solutions, and we call these colloidal solutions as colloidal salts, are quite stable. So colloidal particles do not settle when left undisturbed. I hope you have understood this property. Next, when you come to the next property, it is visibility. Colloidal particles are not visible to the naked eye, but sometimes, in some cases, they are visible under microscope. Okay, when you go to the next property is Tyndall effect. The colloidal particles are big enough to scatter light passing through it. As a result, the path of a light becomes visible. This scattering of a light by colloidal particles is called the Tyndall effect, after the name of a scientist who have discussed. or discovered it. So the particles in a colloidal solution can easily scatter a beam of light. What we have learned. That means light is visible. This scattering a beam of light is called the Tyndall effect, named after the scientist who discovered it. You may observe this effect in your day-to-day life when a fine beam of light enters a room through a small hole or a slit. Or you can try this Tyndall effect at your home also using this concept. And one more point here you have to remember, what is scattering of light? Atoms are molecules which are exposed to light energy and emit some part of a light energy in different direction. That is known as scattering of light. And this about scattering of light, you are going to learn in the higher classes in detail, children. Don't worry, you remember in short way. What is that? The colloidal particles are big enough to scatter light passing through it. The path of a light becomes visible. This scattering of a beam of light by colloidal particles is called the Tyndall effect, after the name of a scientist who discovered it. So observe the Tyndall effect when the beam of light from a torch is passed through true solution. Here true solutions I have taken a pure water. So there the Tyndall effect is not observed. That means the path of light is not visible uh, in the pure water. Okay. However, when the same light is passed through a colloidal solution already we have discussed, a mixture of water and milk. And one more thing you have to take, more amount of milk you should not take, a less amount of milk should be taken to mix with water, then only you can see this effect. So Tyndall effect is observed and the path of light becomes visible. So the main reason for this observation is that the particles of true solutions are so small that they do not scatter light, and hence the path of a light is not visible. That means Tyndall effect is not observed in true solutions. But in contrast, the particles of a colloidal solutions are big enough to scatter light, and hence path of a light becomes visible. In turn, Tyndall effect is observed. I hope you have understood. The Tyndall effect can be used to distinguish between a true solution and a colloidal solution. So what is the true solution here? Pure water is a true solution and a colloidal solution is a mixture of milk and water. I hope children you have understood this effect. Which effect ma? Tyndall effect. So coming to the examples of Tyndall effect, just listen. First one is canopy of a forest. When sunlight passes through the canopy of a dense forest, the mist contains tiny droplets of water which act as the particles of colloid dispersed in air. Next example is in the cinema hall. Tyndall effect is also observed when a beam of light from a projector is thrown on a screen in a cinema hall. The path of a light becomes visible due to the scattering of light by the colloidal dust particles present in the air of a cinema hall. A well-known example of Tyndall effect observed in a home is when a beam of sunlight enters a dark room through a small hole or a slit in the window or a ventilator. The path of a light becomes visible due to the scattering of light by the colloidal dust particles present in the air of the room. The last one, the sky looks blue due to the scattering of light by the colloidal dust particles present in the air. I hope children you have understood all the examples of Tyndall effect. Children, you can observe this phenomena while walking on the road having a lot of trees on both sides. When the sunlight passes through branches and leaves, you see the path of the dust particles. Not only that, try to observe the Tyndall effect in the kitchen when the smoke from the stove is exposed to sunlight. Along with those examples, what I have told, you observe those also. If you can observe, well and good. So whatever the examples I told, the pictures related to those examples of Tyndall effect, one is canopy of forest and the projector in the cinema hall. Sunlight enters into a dark room through a window or a slits of a window and the color of a blue sky. Okay, I hope you have seen examples and understood the concept here related to Tyndall effect. Sometimes this question is going to be asked in the examination related to Tyndall effect. Give some examples. Remember that these are main and important points, children. And coming to the last part of our colloids or colloidal solution, how they have used in our everyday life. For example, the first one is medicine. Many medicines which are insoluble in water are given to the patients in the form of a colloidal dispersions so that medicine in the colloidal form are easily absorbed by the body tissues, hence are more effective. And the next one is cleaning action of a soap. Listen attentively, children, here. Soap is a colloidal solution which is used in removing greasy or oily material sticking to the clothes or utensils. Okay. Next comes to smoke precipitator. Here, smoke is a colloidal dispersion of a carbon particles in air. Since the carbon particles carry charge, they can coagulate by applying electric field. As a result, pollution of air by the smoke coming out of a chimney of the industries can be prevented. So in the industries, they use the smoke precipitator. So in this way, the colloids are used in our day-to-day life. Few more applications also are there. You can read from somewhere, children. So children, in today's class, we have learned what is dispersion medium, what is dispersed phase, okay, of a colloids, and the types of colloidal solutions or colloids with few examples, properties of colloids. Next, Tyndall effect, examples of Tyndall effect, what you see in day-to-day life. Not only that, how the colloids are used in everyday life. With that, I'm going to stop today's class. Children, pay attention. If you don't understand, rewatch the video again attentively. Have a good day. Thank you. Please don't forget to share the pics of your assignment. Thank you, children.